Well, we've made it to weekend again. 1st of April. So now I'm starting to think about what I've got growing already, what's outside, and what I need to start sowing again. And we're always going to want fresh salads, so definitely going to be doing some fresh salad seeds. And that one's called Mesclun Mix. So we'll try a few of those. And then I've got an old favourite, Little Gem. I always like Little Gem because I like a very small romaine lettuce, and you can basically pick them at any size that you want. If you just want a quick bit of lettuce on the side of your plate, they're perfect for that. I'm going to do some more Savoy cabbages and all. We have got a couple growing in greenhouse, and I've got some little plants as well. We'll try that broccoletta as well, because we've never grown that before. So basically that plant's going to put out side shoots from main stem. And it's not exactly broccoli, but it looks very much like it. But we've never grown it before, so we might as well give it a go. And then I've got some more lettuce there, that's all year round lettuce. So we've got a few seeds to sow today and get some more things going, because I want to get as many seedlings on go now as I possibly can. And because it's not as cold as it used to be, they're going to germinate a lot quicker, and we can start pricking them out as soon as. Like these ones that we've already done. That's Calabrese. And we've put a couple of seeds in each. So we've basically got 100% germination in that tray. And if we wanted to, we could just take these out and separate these plants, because there's quite a few really decent ones that's growing together. And then we end up with even more. So we could get 24 separate plants out there if we wanted to. So we're all right for Calabrese. We've got us first little French bean plant poking through now. It's not stretched at all, nice looking little plant, and there's a couple more that's on way as well. So that's good to see that eventually we're starting to see a little bit of faster germination from these seeds. And I can see at least 6 out of this tray that's on the way now. These are a dwarf variety as well, so we can pop them in containers if we want. You can just put them outside, but as long as you don't get bad winds, they don't need any support, because I think this particular variety only grows to about 30 inches tall. Although it's always a good idea just to give it a little bit of something to cling on to, because we do get bad winds around here now and again. We sowed some sweet peas as well, and they're all starting to come up now. And again, they were from seeds that we saved last year. So the seeds have cost us nothing, and it looks like we've already got about 24 plants on go. And we've got a few cabbages that's come up now as well. And that's an early cabbage, and it's called Durham. So we can get some of these pricked out over the weekend. The more we move on now, the quicker they're going to grow, and then the quicker we can get them planted out. Which is what I like to concentrate on during April. And we've still got a couple of cabbages in pots. They're getting a bit tall now, but we can bury them deeper and get some out of them as well. And then we've got another broccoli plant there, yellow in leaf on the bottom. Let's take it away. So again, we need to get that planted somewhere, because I can see that roots again are starting to come out at the bottom. So we've still got loads to do over the weekend, as well as general clear up in garden. And we did a salad planter as well. I left it outside all week, and that's multi-sown salad leaves. And we've got green in there, we've got a bit of red as well, and it's coming on really well, that. But because we had quite a lot of light rain over these last few days, I took everything outside, and then it got a nice steady watering all week. Some things I've left outside, odd thing I've brought back in, but the majority of stuff is outside in that container garden now, and that's where it'll stay from April onwards. We planted a shallot in this little 2-litre pot just to see what happens with it, and it might not be that easy to see, but it is, just after a few days, trying to sprout now. So this year we're actually maximising on container planting as well. We're going to do a lot more of that this year than we did year before, because they're more manageable if you get sudden shifts in weather. We've got summer's potatoes done, but we've still got loads in house that we need to get sorted out. And again, I'm only doing potatoes in containers this year. I'm not putting any outside, because I always find there's too many problems as we go through the season. And again, one of those being bad winds that tends to pick the exact moment that these plants have reached quite an height, and then it just knocks them flat to the ground. And it's just a massive deficit when it comes to your harvest, apart from insect damage as well. So we'll just keep them in these pots, old compost bags, whatever we can pop them in, and at least we know we're going to get some nice clean potatoes from there. And it's a lot easier when you come to harvest, because you just tip them. And we've got some potatoes, second early ones, growing in an old compost bag, and we keep burying them. As soon as they come out at compost, we cover them up, and as we do that, we roll that bag up, so we're getting more and more depth to it, but only to a certain point, because they are second early potatoes and they grow outwards, not upwards like main crops. But the more compost we get in that bag, the more there is for these taters to be spread out. Then hopefully the more potatoes we're going to get. But it's growing a lot quicker now than it were. I'll show you what stage it's at the moment. So that's a container. We put it in this when we were getting those -5 temperatures. So we basically wrapped the whole thing up in bubble wrap. Also, it's in this box, and then it's in a bag. And even though we keep continuously burying these plants, they just keep growing back through, which is what they're supposed to be doing. And the compost that's in here is nice and loose, so they're doing really well. So we'll bury them again at some point over the weekend. And then we bought this big container. Not sure what size it is. I don't know if it tells you. Yeah, it does. Flexi tub, 42 litres this one, which is loads of space for your potatoes. And again, these are already starting to come through. And we've got that broccoli in that big container that we did quite recent, and it seems perfectly fine at the moment. And a bit more growth from these dwarf broad beans. This one's actually split off into 2 stems now, which is good. So we've got twice as many flowers. Those carrots are still growing. Those are those Paris market ones that grow into round balls. And they've been growing quite slow, to be fair, but they are still growing, and we're hoping to get a few small carrots out of this that we can just drop into stews or something. So everything seems to be doing alright. We've got extra things come up this weekend that weren't up last weekend, which is also encouraging. You're seeing that because in that change in weather, those couple of degrees extra warmth that we're getting, it's making a difference now to germination in the greenhouse, which means we can do what I mentioned at the beginning of the video. We can start and get more trays filled with seeds and get more germinated on this bench, so we can prick out as much as we can and move it on between now and end of April. And meanwhile, we've got some more peppers growing in house and a couple of other bits and bobs. But we've also got lots and lots of potatoes in there that all need doing this month, so we're going to be really busy over the next couple of weeks. And if you're interested in seeing what we're doing, then please hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.